Hey, B-Siders.
We're back.
Hello, and welcome back to Bravo for the B-Side. This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
And it's been a while.
It has been a long while.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah, an enormous amount of time, much more than we originally intended. But a lot of things have changed since we last recorded.
Yes.
For example, we now live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Literally in a cabin. Log cabin.
A log cabin in the woods.
Yeah, not a fake one.
Like secret serial killers.
Yeah. Murder cabin. Murder house.
Murder house. Yeah. And we have about 17 billion cats.
Yeah.
And a doggo.
Yep. We have a dog. Supposed to be Lily's dog, but
he's my dog.
He's more your dog. English Bull Terrier.
Adorable.
Named Husker.
Because he's a husky boy.
And yeah, we'll get into the cat situation later on. Let's keep that as
And it feels great to be recording again in our brand new studio.
Yes.
In the basement
yes.
of our cabin.
Our much more spacious home office.
Yes.
I think we talked about before, folks. If you remember B-Siders, we were in a 10x6 space, which was our work from home office and our podcast recording. So it's the size of a jail cell.
Yeah.
But now it's like 16x14 and
it's huge.
We got comfy chairs.
We have comfy recliner chairs that we can record in. I actually thought I would pull my knees up so I could sit in sideways in the chair like I like to.
Mm-hmm.
And then I totally forgot about it. So I can't do it now. Otherwise you'll hear all my
probably.
So
well, next time.
I'll save you from that.
Maybe we'll take a break. So, yeah, it has been too long. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
We didn't anticipate it, but life is like that. The short break was just more and more things happening, and well, here we are. But we are back.
And better than ever, baby.
Absolutely. But couple changes, B-Siders.
Yes.
So first and foremost, we're not going to be doing it weekly. This will be a bi-weekly podcast. Just simply because time. I mean, there's just so much going on.
Yes.
This is what we need to do for right now. And we will, look at going back to weekly, but right now it'll be every 2 weeks. Secondly, we're pushing for everybody to hit the Patreon. So links will be available in the description, addresses for our website, links to our Patreon. We have a Patreon for the production company. But more importantly, we have a Patreon for the podcast, which we've always had.
Yes.
We shut it down for a little while. We brought it back up. We're gearing at this, but the bottom line is this bad boy needs to pay for itself. Not going to lie. Just comes down to that. As much as we love doing it, with all the time and work we put into it, and the money it costs to, not do I'm sitting in my car recording on my iPhone, I'm going to post it kind of thing.
Well, that's the trouble, isn't it? That we have put a lot of money and effort and time and work into making this podcast sound as good as it does. And I think it sounds pretty good.
I think so.
But at a very bare minimum, we need to be in at a zero loss for the year instead of at a, in the red. Yes. Which is where we have been previously. So
that is true. So yeah, head to the Patreon, join, let's keep this thing alive. And, whether we do it bi-weekly or weekly or 5 times a week, all the costs are pretty much the same. If we did it a couple of times a week, it would cost even more, but that's just the way it is.
Hosting space, but
yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the thing. So I'm telling you right now, this is beginning of every episode. Hit the Patreon, please. Join up. $5 a month, folks. That is it.
Help us.
Yeah. I don't, you know what? I don't think I actually put the benefits on there. So for right now, what it's going to be is folks who are paid Patreon folks, patrons, we will get an episode up a week early.
Yes.
Like we did before. Because we're going to do these as we did before, a couple weeks in advance, at a time. And so we can keep, because if you folks remember, this is episode, I believe, 138. 138. So 137 episodes, ladies and gentlemen, we never missed a week.
Yeah, that's true.
You got sick a couple times.
Yeah.
I pounded through it alone. I was sick one time doing it alone, but we always got them out. We took a week-long vacation, didn't miss a beat. And that's what we're going to keep doing. More importantly, we're going to be talking about movies.
Yes.
B-movies, independent film.
So if you are new to Bravo for the B-side, what we do is we watch B-movies, we dissect them, and we talk about what you can learn from them.
Yes, because we are firm believers that the A-list movies aren't always great. And there's really not a lot of lessons unless you want to be like an A-lister, pseudo-artsy Hollywood type person. But like the B-movies is where they get the freedom, and independent film, absolute freedom.
It's where you learn to get the most bang for your buck.
Yes.
As far as filmmaking goes.
Because you have no bucks. It's all bang.
It's all bang.
You got to make it happen.
Yeah.
So we have a wonderful independent film we're going to kick into in a little bit here.
Yes.
That we were going to do before we took the break, but then we took the break and here we are.
Yeah, there were a couple of things we were going to do before we took the break, and we will get to them. Absolutely, for sure.
Yes.
A lot of our friends from when we were, podcasting before we took our break, had a lot of good stuff coming out. And we were very disappointed that we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show, but now we're going to get to.
Yeah, and this one is actually, it works out because nobody has missed out on this yet, and we'll talk about why. So yeah, a lot of things going on. We'll stroll into some details here and there as the episodes go on, as we do, and just welcome back. Share, let everyone know what's going on. That the podcast is back. Particularly, folks, if you're in the filmmaking, movie, independent film, in any way, shape, or form.
Do you like movies? Do you make movies? Do you want to make movies? Do you write movies? Do you act in movies?
I mean, that's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
Do you work on movies? I mean, do you do lighting? Do you do sound? Do
you make costumes?
Yeah, anything.
Props.
Anything. This is for you. Because we talk about all kinds of stuff. Right?
Yes.
This is not like who's the scariest, who's the bloodiest.
We do sometimes talk about that, but...
Well, yeah, because we love horror. Right? So, yeah, new B-siders, share this. This is for everybody. And like I said, we believe the best lessons are learned from the films that were the biggest struggles to make.
Yeah.
Independent film has no money. The B movies had limited money, right? But the studio still wanted big return. So that's why we're here, to talk about the stuff that some of the stuff we've seen before and we like. And a lot of it is going to be stuff we haven't seen and maybe we won't like. But you know what? Every movie has a lesson. That's our line. And we're here to share them with you.
It is. And we love movies. We love them so, so much.
Oh, yeah.
And there would not be the big blockbuster movies, the huge budget movies without the independent films.
Right. Well, how about
you tell us about this movie?
I talk about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me the stats.
See, that's independent film sound effect.
Good Foley work.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, that reminded me something real quick. So I didn't know this.
Okay.
All right. I have been a Star Trek fan all my life. Right.
Yeah.
Knew all kinds of stuff about it. Roddenberry and behind the scenes and things. But I did not know in the beginning of the opening of the original series, when the Enterprise goes by the screen, it goes, right? That's not a sound effect. They fought and fought and fought to find the right sound. And the sound engineer, the guy in charge, finally got so pissed off that he walked into a recording booth, grabbed the microphone, hit the switch, and went, whoosh. That's it. That is him.
Amazing.
I know. See? It's the little things that matter. Anyway, this week we are talking about a movie that we longed to see, and it's wonderful. So we're going to be talking about The Love Song of William H. Shaw, done in 2023, directed by Cliff Campbell and Marty Catola, also written by Cliff Campbell and Marty Catola.
Good guys.
I know. And, old B-siders, you know who we're talking about. Starring Bradford Trojan, Eric Schumacher, Nathan Campbell, Rachel Netherton, Christina Fluker, Julie Schaefer, Sarah Jackson, Olivia Blake, and last but not least, Jeffrey Notkin.
That's right.
Meteor Man.
Our boy, Jeff.
Yeah. Rated R language. The budget on this was roughly around $30,000. And the log line is simply Billy Shaw is haunted by FrenZee one last time in an attempt to reunite the estranged John and Pete. Now, you might be wondering, who are John and Pete? Well, so Love Song of William H. Shaw is the third FrenZee film, following Billy, John, and Pete on their journey from turning a comic book into a movie, into a franchise, and all the things that came with it.
Yes.
So we had Finding FrenZee. I can't remember when that date was. It was a long time ago. It was like 2010, 2012.
I believe so. I don't have our spreadsheets up right now with
all
with
that
the
good
stats.
stuff. Anyway, so here's the thing. This is going to be a bit of we don't really do spoiler free. We're going to talk about this, but we are not going to go into the ending because
this movie is not in distribution yet.
Not yet. It has been doing the circuits for the film festivals and everything. They're still working on distribution. So, like we did with Fried Berry, we're going to skip like the whole end bit. But when we get to the end, we'll talk about some things you'll find out. You just got to wait and see.
I'll also put out a little disclaimer. This movie might be a little confusing if you have not seen the other two FrenZee films.
Yes. I'm trying to think. Both of them I thought were on Tubi. Love Song is not on any platform yet. Hence, again, they're working on distribution. But we saw this last year when they completed the final edit. They had a watch party for everyone and we got invited. We were so thrilled. We love these guys so much. They have been so good to us. And go back in the episodes, folks. We've got interviews with them. It's just so much fun. They're so magnificent. And they make a damn good movie.
They do.
That's the other thing. So let's see, what else is there to say? We're not going to reveal the ending. We will, talk about the rest of it because it is just a lot of fun.
And we'll put in the notes links to the first two films if they're available online. I know at the very least the second one, Revenge of Zoe, is available online. Finding FrenZee might be difficult.
Yeah, Revenge of Zoe, the last time I watched it was on Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. All right. Would you, my dear, like to bring us into this movie? Let's do it.
All right.
I don't have the soundboard stuff hooked up yet, so this is what you get, folks.
We get our own personal Foley effects. You're welcome. So we start out on an AA meeting, and we have our friend Billy, who we've seen in the first two films of this trilogy. Interestingly, this hasn't happened in the other movies, but Billy is breaking the fourth wall.
Yes.
In this AA meeting. commenting on the fellow who is telling his story, in this AA group. And he's not being very nice.
No.
He gets chastised by the woman sitting next to him, who is his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of breaks into this like he stands up and starts talking about his sobriety and how difficult it's been, and how difficult it's been for him, for his sponsors to have relapsed. 2 of them have died.
Oh God, yeah. Well, he does that whole, I've got 2 years. Anyone else here have 2 years?
Oh yeah,
and it wasn't easy. Anyone else here have a sponsor die on you?
Yeah.
I did twice.
Yeah. Billy's a real pill. He also makes sure to call out his girlfriend, Katie, who is obviously not pleased about the whole situation. So he decided to be his own sponsor, and he's congratulating himself on his 2 years sober.
Yeah.
And he's giving I don't know what they call them in AA groups, the person who's sort of the moderator of the group.
Yeah, I don't know. I just the moderator.
Yeah. He's giving that guy a hard time. And eventually Katie's like, okay, that's enough public time for you, Billy. We're going to go home. So then we're in another house, and my notes are weird here because I was trying to write this as though we were kind of watching a movie we hadn't seen before, without character names and stuff. And then, so bear with me on my weird notes.
Same here. Yeah.
So we've got John working on his laptop. His wife asks him what's going on, Jen. And he's been working on another script because they've successfully sold scripts before. They've had movies made before. They're having money problems. And he's complaining about his friend Pete. John and Pete are not getting along.
Right. Well, Pete wrote a bestseller.
Yes.
And we didn't see this in the last one. This in between the films. They had a rift.
Yes.
Pete's off with his own comic book shop. He's doing gangbusters.
Yeah.
And John's like, we're going broke.
Yes. In what was previously John and Pete's comic book shop. So John and Jen are discussing the success of the FrenZee movie and how that was where everything broke bad after that.
So then we cut to the original comic book shop, which is John's now. And gentleman behind the counter, none other than our Mr. Jeff Notkin, is talking with John. There's a woman upset that they didn't get a comic in that she had been waiting for. And I put in here in all caps, stop. Freeze the screen, folks, because there it is.
Our podcast logo.
Our logo. They have this giant sign, Bravo for the B-Side Podcast. It's the same thing as the thumbnail that you see, only a little bigger.
Yeah.
But wider. They asked us if they could put it in the movie. And we were like, who asks that kind of question? Of course you can.
Of course.
And
that is a fantastic, lovely thing that you can do as an independent filmmaker is give shout outs to your friends.
Yes. So sorry to break the momentum, but I'm still very proud of that. And we had to keep it quiet for so long. Long. I was so thrilled. I had that picture on my desktop. I'd open it up every now and again because they took a picture of it on the wall. I'm like, like a little kid. So anyway, there's our logo on the wall behind them. Adam, Jeff Notkin's character, mollifies her with another rare comic, but she says she is going to go to Pete's and see if he has the one that she was looking for. John's face doesn't look very pleased. So now we're at Pete's comic shop, and this one's wildly different. It reminded me of, neither one of these are, what should we say, Hollywoodized comic book shops. I was thinking like Big Bang Theory. Right? We have Stewart's comic book shop, was fairly traditional. Yes. A lot of the gitchy gimmicky collectible stuff. And then there was that one episode where Bernadette had to go to replace a comic.
Yeah, like
behind-
Stuart's mortal enemy.
Yeah, and this thing was so bougie. It was sad. I mean, oh man. So John's comic book shop is as flat, pure shop as you can get, right? There's some artwork on the walls.
Right.
They got some figures and stuff, but it's just boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of comics.
Yeah, the white boxes.
Yeah. Now we go to Pete's, still white boxes, but it's a little newer looking, a little fresher looking.
Yeah.
So as we're there, he's giving this rousing positivity speech to his accountant. Phone rings, an employee picks it up. Pete's Comics, if you don't have it, or if we don't have it, you don't need it. I love that line. It's somebody that wants a FrenZee comic, and we find out that John's assistant sold the comic series that the woman at John's comic book that we saw that she wanted, sold it to Pete, and for cheap.
Directly to Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So we cut to John airing his frustration with his assistant, Adam. It's a fruitless effort. Adam is just, I love him. I mean, I love all these characters, but
yeah,
Adam is just he's taking it in, but you also see the churning wheel of light and goodness in his heart. And he's just like, what?
I love the character of Adam. He's so incredibly weird. He's just,
he just doesn't grasp the depth of John's woe, but he's also like, well, I get what you're saying, but however, we're alive and today's another day kind of thing. Then we cut back to Pete's, and he's talking about how he's not at all sorry about this whole comic thing. And it really does seem that he and John are clearly deeply at odds with one another, because this is diametrically opposed to their conversations, even when they would argue. Right.
I mean, this seems like something very serious has happened, and that it is irreparable.
Yeah, it's sad. It's like watching the aftermath of a divorce. Yeah. Okay. So a woman comes in. It's Pete's wife, Mona. She invites Pete to knock off early to grab some tacos on the way home. And as other employees come out, they give over on Pete's happenings with John. One employee is Mona's brother, Earl. They all rat him out, meaning Pete, and Mona is not pleased. So she leaves without Pete, and Pete kicks out the staff.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's how you run a store. But it is Pete. Love him. But he's Pete.
Yeah, but he has great shirts.
He does. And can I just pause for a second?
Sure.
So Pete is played by Nathan Campbell. Love Nathan. But he pisses me off. Like me, he's got long hair. He's got so much more of it.
It's so thick.
Why does everybody have thicker hair than me? God damn it. It was almost like a kick in the nuts every time he was on screen. Because only one time does he wear it in a ponytail. So it's just like bobbing and moving.
Yeah, his thick, luxurious hair.
You thick-haired bitch.
Sorry, Nate. We do love you.
We do.
And your hair. And I'll talk to Jim privately about making his hair thicker.
I'm not making my hair thicker. It's doing what it's doing. Anyway, so
we're circling back to Billy and Katie.
Yeah. So anyway, the employees all take turns yelling at him as they're going out the back door, and it's great.
Yes. So we circle back to Billy and Katie, and Billy is upset that his friends, Pete and John, didn't show up at his sobriety ceremony. She suggests that he should go see them at TusCon. And Billy says that he hates crowds and people. And I love this line, any more than two people and he's the asshole, which is true.
Two or more people and I'm the asshole.
Yeah. So he's pretty against this.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
It's just so funny. It's just his like glaring moments of just self-actualization are just so, they tickle me. I
Well,
just, and
yeah.
the face he has when he says it.
He's so incredibly self-aware.
Yes.
And it's,
At this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he was before in the other two movies as well. Like he was very self-aware, but it just didn't bother him.
Maybe we'll discuss that.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're at their house and Katie's making tacos while Billy's smoking weed and sculpting clay. And I do have to say here, I'm realizing watching this as Katie cuts tomatoes and pushes them through the hole in the cutting board. That's a brilliant idea. And that's in my notes. That was distracting me. I was like, my God, that's so smart.
You should have shared that with me yesterday when I was cutting tomatoes for the sandwiches.
Were you using a cutting board?
Well, no, I was using the.
Yeah. But she
chopping
was
board
like
now.
dicing them.
Oh.
Yeah. So smart. Anyway, so she goes to Billy and they do this kind of homage to the movie Ghost, which if you didn't grow up in the 90s, it might be lost on you, but you should watch the movie Ghost. It's kind of a wild ride.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So as she's doing this, Billy sees her as Zoe or FrenZee. However you want to.
Well, I mean, she's FrenZee in the outfit, and I guess Zoe, even though he continuously calls her Zoe,
yeah,
but FrenZee is her space
superhero
thing, and Zoe is the secret identity.
Right, her Clark Kent sort of situation.
Yeah.
And he wigs out for a little bit, but then things kind of go back to normal. But that night, Zoe appears to him again, and she never speaks aloud for at least most of the movie. But so he wants to know what she wants, and she just kind of whispers to him. And he makes the comment that, well, a sequel would be easier, talking about their movies.
Right.
So we don't know exactly what she's asked him. But apparently it's going to be difficult.
Yes.
So now we're with the girls. And I want to give a shout out to the women of this movie because they're all amazing.
They are. And just a note, before the break, we had it all planned out. We talked with the guys.
I know.
And with this one, we wanted to get all the ladies on and just them as a group interview.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can still wrangle that because these women are brilliant.
Oh, they're wonderful. And they're all so different and fantastic and how it's just love them. So they're talking about the beef between the boys. Mona says, like, oh, well, Pete got the better of John. And then it starts a little bit of an argument between Mona and Jen.
Mm-hmm.
And then Katie comes in smoothly and just kind of changes the subject.
With salsa.
Salsa. You can solve any problem with salsa.
Oh, and she has a good line. Do you have the line?
I don't.
She comes. Well, I don't have it word for word, but I noted it. So she comes in with the salsa, change the subject, as long as it isn't why men who get tats from women tattooists always get them near their junk.
Oh.
And she says it with there's such putricity in the thought.
Right.
It. And I love it.
Well, in the previous movies, before Katie is with Billy, she's a tattoo artist, and she's still a tattoo artist.
Right.
But yeah. So we jump to Billy, who's got Zoe with him again. And he gets a call from John, who apologizes for missing the ceremony. And Billy kind of asks him about what's going on between him and Pete. Because he doesn't really understand.
Right.
So he tells John that the three of them need to talk about how to patch things up. And John is not super about it. So he tells Zoe, well, this isn't going to be easy. So now we know Zoe has told him, like, you need to patch things up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tries to light a joint and she takes it from him. This figment of his imagination. She's going to make him go to Tucson. And Billy breaks the fourth wall again here, saying that when FrenZee disappeared, she disappeared when he stopped drinking.
Right, when he got sober, because in the previous films, he would see her on a binge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not just her.
All kinds of stuff.
Yes. But her also. Mm-hmm. And so he's kind of confused because he thought that was associated with his drinking, right?
Yeah.
And John and Pete know, nobody else knows. And he's concerned because if she's showing up again, like something is wrong. Super, super wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that Tucson isn't going to go very well.
Well, and if he says anything, they're immediately going to assume he's back on the wagon or off the wagon again.
Right.
Right. So we cut to some nice shots of Tucson. And then we have Pete and John outside, both walking in. Now, they both know that they each have to go, right? Because it's Tucson. And if you don't know what Tucson is, quick reference, it is a Comic-Con and all things related in Tucson, Arizona. And it's not massive, but it's fairly decently sized. It's awesome. We haven't been, but we've heard like Jeff talk about it.
I would love to go.
We will get there.
We were invited.
We were invited to go to Tucson to see the
premiere of this film.
Yeah, the public premiere.
But we were unable to.
Right. But next year maybe we'll get a point.
Well, I know our friends will be there.
Oh, absolutely. So anyway, so as they're both walking in, they're giving each other shit, and it's like the sibling thing where one's walking and then one starts walking a little faster, gets like 3 feet ahead, and the other one starts walking a little faster, and then they're like running as they come in, and it's a race to the floor with lots of shoving and everything. And Pete's like, because let's be honest, folks, there aren't a lot of gym membership, uber fit comic book people. I'm speaking as one.
Yeah.
Particularly a shop owner.
What I really like about the walk through Tucson is the style of these films is very straightforward.
Yeah.
Right. There are not a lot of super complex shots. It's very much, it's just straightforward. It's sort of good classic framing sort of thing.
Let's roll that to the back end because there's a whole tube of discussion around that. This whole thing. But no, I'm just saying we got way more to get into on that.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. And it makes it easy to watch this happening. That's the thing. And these two, John and Pete, the way they're carrying on, just really, and the way it's shot, just kind of makes you feel like you're there, and just almost makes you go, because we've all been through it, and it actually makes you feel like, oh, damn kids,
guys, stop it.
But as they're doing this, outside is Billy making his way in. Very unhappily. I mean, there's just Bradford is so good.
He is excellent.
He gets in, he gets harassed at the door for not having a badge. That conversation is exceptional. I love that exchange. Ultimately, he buys one very grudgingly, and he makes his way through the floor to find Pete or John. And a woman he bumps into is all about him and hits on him like twice heavily to his dismay. And it's really cool. She's a cosplayer.
Yes.
Right. And it's kind of one of those things where they play on the mysticism of her cosplay. because he's like, no, 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 no. And all of a sudden, there she is. As he turns and goes a few feet,
She's magic.
Yeah. And she's disappointed, but she does not know how close she came to saddling up with the Titanic. So,
Oh my God.
come on. Billy is not a catch. he's I don't know.
He tries.
He tries. So we cut to a small I don't know what it was. It's not really a room. It's kind of like a half room kind of thing. Anyway, there's a bunch of people gathered and there's a screen. So we see an announcement being played on the screen of the future of the FrenZee saga. And this fellow on the screen starts out saying how wonderful it has been so far. And then he announces FrenZee 5.
Yes.
And people are like, and then that's it. Show's over. So Billy at the back of the room walks towards the front to the room to Ira, his one-time manager.
Mm-hmm.
We learn Billy is getting residuals for FrenZee 1 and 2. Ira's getting them for 3 and 4. And I just want to mention, there are so many cameos.
Really good cameos.
Right? I'm not going to list them. I didn't bother because I want it's one of the things I don't want to give away. But look for the cameos, folks.
Well, if we get to do an interview with the girls, or we get to do an interview with, our Mondo boys, or Eric, or Jeff, or any of them, you guys can spoil all the cameos that you want.
Yep. That's their prerogative.
That's right.
But we're trying to keep it clean. But I want to remind folks, Jeff Notkin was a cameo in the second film.
That's right.
Yes. And now he's in, it's just wonderful. So ultimately we have John and Pete. They are stuck at a table together.
Next to each other. Doing
signatures and meeting the group.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asks them if they wrote the first movie, why weren't they in the credits? and then suddenly Billy shows up. And they both say he can explain what happened. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I took credit for the film. And just totally shut them out.
Yep.
And then there's a couple words, and then Pete and John end up in a wrestling match.
Yes. And they tell Billy to go to hell as he's trying to talk to them through their wrestling match.
Yeah.
Billy tells us, the audience, he's like, I think they like treating each other like this.
Yeah.
And in the first couple of movies, they did seem to have fun fighting with each other, John and Pete. It was kind of their thing.
It was physical, but nobody ever threw a punch.
Right.
There was a slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But.
So Billy goes back to his car, and Zoe's in there in her secret identity costume. And he's like, this is pointless.
Zoe Zephyr.
Yeah. I kind of wish there were like real Zoe comics. I would read them.
I would absolutely. If I had to drive to get them directly from the dude who illustrated them and put them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah. They look super cute. So she holds a knife to his throat. He's like, seriously, I have not been drinking.
Just a quick note, because I put it in here. She does not speak one word out loud.
Right.
To this point. So it's all looks and expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And he's surmising.
Mm-hmm.
This one was not real hard to figure out.
No, it's pretty clear. And that's something that's really great about the actress who plays Zoe, is everything is very clear, even though she doesn't say any words.
Right.
So we are back at John's house, and he is arguing with Jen. They're trying to have a baby, And she's a little frustrated. And if you've watched the first couple of films, John and Jen's sex life is really fun.
It's all about role play.
Seems like a blast.
Yeah.
But he's preoccupied with Pete. But she doesn't care that he's preoccupied with Pete.
I'm ovulating. It's happening.
And then Pete's doing the same thing at his house. You know, talking about his fight with John. And Mona is not interested at all. I love how no one else in this movie cares about John and Pete's fight. They're just like, seriously.
I know.
I don't have time for this. They hear music start playing, and it's Billy outside with a speaker.
So, folks, it's not a cameo.
No, but it's an homage.
It's an homage. He's out there like Lloyd Dobler. Instead of a big boombox, it's a tiny Bluetooth
It's a little
speaker. It's making sound, but it absolutely,
yeah.
From the time Say Anything was made till now, a lot has changed, but it was beautiful.
That's wonderful. And he kind of lays it all bare for Pete here. You know, like saying Zoe's back. You know, this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Please help me with this. And Pete doesn't believe him. And in fairness to Pete, you know, Billy's been the boy who cried wolf a few times.
Yeah. Well, even Mona, towards the end, she sticks her head out.
Yeah.
To hear just a little bit. And she's just like, nope, shut it down.
Mm-hmm. So there's a FrenZee movie playing when Billy gets home, which is awesome. So he tries to talk to Katie about Pete and John. And she's kind of like, why is this so important? You know? And he kind of dodges around it a little bit, saying, oh, well, they saved me. I don't have anybody else. But he's not telling her about Zoe.
Right.
At which point she says, well, as long as, you know, you're not doing the crazy stuff, we're still okay. So then we're back in his pottery area, and Zoe appears again. And she shows him Wargasm. And he deduces that she wants him to turn that last comic into a movie. And she shows him this vision of like how things could be. And it's all beautiful things, like him and Katie and a baby,
right.
You know, and it's this beautiful, dreamy sort of sequence.
I want to just cut in.
Uh-huh.
So that she mentions it's Nick's last comic. And they're talking about Nick Levine, who in the second film, we love everybody. We love them all the actors, all the characters. But let me tell you,
Nick stole the show.
We wanted a Nick Levine figure.
Yeah.
So if you remember from the second film, Nick Levine was the one who wasn't a talky guy.
No.
Long hair and just kind of
weird. Yeah.
Oh man, there was a beautiful like acid trip scene with him and everything.
In the desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she shows him what will happen if they can't reconcile. And it's not good.
Right.
It's bad.
Yeah.
So he says, well, I might need some help.
So the next day, we're back at Pete's shop, and they're setting up for Nick Levine Day. And this is where I noted Nick was our favorite in the second film. And they have this whole, I love this. When people who love movies make movies, it is amazing.
This whole movie is a love letter to movies.
It really is. It's Billy Shaw. It's not just his love letter to, FrenZee and his friends. It's just film.
Yeah.
Right. So it's this whole 80s style montage with the music and the dancing around and doing the things. And I loved it.
juxtaposed with.
Mm-hmm. We go to John's shop, and we have shots of them prepping. Oh my God, prepping for Nick Levine Day as well. Adam doesn't seem to be very good at this kind of thing, though. We don't have a lot of dancing going on. It doesn't look like Pete's.
Adam is good at other things.
He is. But we do get treated to Adam's very poor customer relation skills as he drives a customer straight to Pete's.
Yes.
Not physically, but just like the guy.
Directly.
Yeah. They couldn't get out the door fast enough. And, they just arrow shot right to Pete's. John comes out and asks if they need to go over de-escalation techniques again.
I want to say.
And I love that. Do we need to go over de-escalation techniques again?
So, I forget her name, the other girl who works in a store.
Tanya.
Tanya? Okay. So, both Tanya and Adam are not just rude to customers. They're weird. Like, it goes beyond rudeness.
Yeah.
And into the, really, really weird area.
Well, yeah, they're not, hatefully rude. They're sociopathically disassociated from what's happening rude.
Yes.
Hence the de-escalation techniques. I love that. These little lines. So Tanya, who defends Adam to John, a note on her, she's amazing.
Oh, yeah, she is.
She stares at Adam with this haunting expression that you just know she's like,
oh, yeah.
Right? In their weird way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's awesome. She's clearly into him. And when you're watching, because sometimes she's on the far edge of the left side of the screen, just sticking out from a row of comics or something. But just look for that face. Look for those expressions. When she's not actively on camera. They're just delightful. I loved seeing her every second. Well, it's like an Easter egg. Being its own Easter egg for the sake of being an Easter egg.
Well, I know I might be wrong, but I feel like her character is a little bit of an homage to the Addams Family.
I think so.
Feels a little bit Wednesday.
Yeah.
Addams to me.
Yeah. Old style.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess the Christina Ricci version is still kind of kept with some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I always think, original Addams Family, because these guys were something. Anyway, after all that, we are back at Pete's. And we have some hardcore comic customers all ramped up because there are no more FrenZee comics. Meant to be funny, and it is, this whole scene. But I wrote in here, but the dark truth is it is not an exaggeration.
No, it isn't.
And I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Folks, if you're into comics, into graphic novels, and hopefully you're not one of these people, because if you are, you wouldn't know.
There can be a dark side to it.
There is a dark side. They get mean.
Yeah.
They get mean. This is serious. And I'm not saying that to, piss on it or anything. It's a very serious thing. I used to collect comics, right, as a kid.
Yeah.
They all got stolen from me. It was years and years and years. I've got 2 little boxes sitting behind you. Just some favorite things that I'd see every now and again. I'm like, oh, I had that. Oh, I had that. I pick them up. So I'm not ultra dedicated, but oh man, I've been in the shop when they have those people come in, comic day. They've arrived. Why aren't they out?
Oh, I know.
Why aren't they priced? Why aren't they organized? Why is there a stack of comics over there that aren't bagged and cardboarded, right? Bags and boards. Where is it? Yeah.
Anything that has a serious fandom is like that. I waited in line for Harry Potter books as a kid, and whoo, boy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you.
Contentious.
It is.
So I get it. And they did make it funny, but I love how the element of realism was injected into it,
mm-hmm.
For that. Let's see. I lost my thing. Oh, here we go. So at Billy's, Katie, Jen, and Mona are having drinks. Katie tells them she's worried about Billy that he's acting weird. That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
They're sweet friends, these girls. Is
Oh,
what I wrote in my notes because I really enjoyed their interactions here.
yes. Yes. Well, in this movie, I love that the men in this movie are just wrecks. Even though Billy's sober,
Mm-hmm.
he's still Billy,
Yeah.
who inherently is a wreck, right? And all three of these guys are just wrecks. It's just that old adage, behind every great man. And these aren't great guys. I mean, they're not. There's no greatness. They're not like the king of the comic book shops. Whatever.
Right.
But they're decent guys. Fucked up, but they've got really good women behind them who, without them, especially Billy,
Yeah.
because we've seen what he's like without a woman behind him to shore him up. Yeah, they're just awesome, and they're subtle. They're not like, we're gonna just do this. No, they do their little nudges and their stuff, or they just ignore them.
Yep.
Like with Mona in bed, just reading her comic book. Yeah. You'll stop talking one of these fucking days. So anyway, Katie's worried about Billy because he's acting weird. Jen is down because she's not pregnant yet. And immediately the other two are just like, whoosh,
Yes.
hug puddle,
Mm-hmm.
being supportive and encouraging to her. And I mean, it was, I love the balance. And we're going to talk about all this in greater detail, but the balance of this scene was fantastic. It hit, but it was sweet.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was uplifting and encouraging. Just this tight little group of women, the friendship.
Yeah. I have some things to say later.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so then we're at Pete's. One of the staffers, Owen, is deep sleeping on the floor underneath a table as Pete sits at his desk, tossing crumpled up dollars at him. Like he's trying to make a shot. The accountant from earlier, Sarah, is leaving. Pete asks if she's still helping John with his books and how he's doing. And I love it. Sarah just looks at him and tells Pete to call John.
Ask him.
Yeah.
Then we're at John and Jen's. And the best continuous thing about these films is John and Jen's weird sex stuff.
The role play.
It's my favorite bit. Every time it's so just fresh and funny. There's a lot of effort that goes into them.
Yes.
These are not just like, throw on a sailor hat kind of things. These are real serious role-playing costumes.
Right. Or just like some stupid dialogue or like, oh, are you here to fix my pipes?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
This is production level stuff.
But Jen isn't into, John's efforts for this night. She's still upset about, not being able to have a baby. So then we jump to the store, John's store, and we get another cameo. Someone trying to sell the store some comics.
Yeah.
And Adam is being so truly weird again. I'm not going to spoil it because I think it's better to watch it. But his whole charade that he goes through here is just chef's kiss.
Yes. And Tanya is 100%
Supportive.
in it with him.
Yes.
Yep.
Delightful. And then we see Billy kind of being followed around by Zoe again. And we get a montage of things not going well for Billy. Arguing with Katie. She can't. Then she's talking to Pete. She can't find him. He's gone and bought a bottle. He's like, this has always worked before.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe's trying to stop him, but he's drinking anyway.
Well, let me go back a bit.
Yeah.
So in all this, when she's, calling and she gets a hold of Pete and she brings up FrenZee, Pete immediately hangs up and heads out to look for Billy.
Yeah.
Because he knows the level of what that means.
Yes.
Now, I think
this is probably a good place.
this is where we're going to stop. There's still a good chunk for the ending.
Yeah.
But let's stop it here.
Okay.
I will say this though. Okay, folks, watch this all the way through the credits to the very, very end.
Oh yeah, the little cut scenes.
There are some cut scenes, Marvel
Precious.
style, that are beautiful. And I just, I love them. I'm glad they did them.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
All right. So let's get into this discussion piece.
Let's talk about stuff.
Yeah. So first of all, see this movie.
Yes.
See it and see it again and again and again and again. Watch all three of them. Binge it. Because it is so fun.
It really is.
And one of the things that makes it fun is what we were talking about. The way it's written, the way it's shot. And let's talk about those things.
Okay.
So first of all, no matter how you shoot a movie, it's shit if the writing's no good.
True.
The Pondo boys, Cliff and Marty, nothing they do is elevated. And by that, I mean, they don't take it to the nth level.
Well, they're not
right?
pretentious.
Exactly. They just, it's just real.
Yeah.
The conversations are real. The antics are real. If you've lived any amount of time outside of a bedroom or your basement, interacted with people, this is how people speak.
Yes.
And this has been like our biggest problem with a lot of movies, all the rules for writing scripts, 2 sentences, 3 at most, keep it short, keep it quick, keep it doing this, and then I think like to, Glengarry Glen Ross, like there's whole diatribes.
Oh yeah.
And it's gorgeous.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's how we talk. We don't talk in, I've got 90 minutes to get a whole bunch of shit out and we have to have a discourse. So it's going to be 1 word, 2 words, 1 word, 2 words, 1 word, 2 words.
Well,
right?
I mean, okay, there's the film The Room.
Yes.
No one in real life talks like anybody talks in The Room. And I don't know how that got past, I don't know how that didn't occur to our lovely, lovely Tommy Wiseau, who I adore.
We love Tommy.
But nobody talks like that.
And on that, folks, go back.
He's got to know that.
Go back and find our episode on The Room. I'm looking at a Tommy bobblehead. I'm looking at the script from The Room that Tommy signed.
Right.
Right. Directly to you.
Yes.
And
Love is blind.
And we have a pair of his underwear.
That's right.
not his that he wore.
No, but his line.
His unique line of underwear.
And if we ever meet him, I have questions about those underwear.
I have a lot of questions, just period.
I really just want to know about the underwear. I want to know what is the situation there.
It has a pocket.
It has a weird little pocket on the inside that could maybe fit a pen. Like a pen in it. So
it's not enough there's a banana pouch.
Right.
It's got a pocket. I've never in my life put on underwear of any kind and thought, if only I had a pocket. But anyway, these conversations are real. Even the kind of slapsticky relationship between John and Pete, that's very real.
Oh, there are friendships that are like that.
Absolutely. I had some way early on in life, and that's just how it is. And it's what makes every person in here relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the gold standard. You want everything you write to be relatable to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys do every single time they've done it.
Well, and that's something I want to bring up too. The conversation between the girls when Jen's talking about her struggles with having a baby.
Mhm.
I've got my girls that I talk to, and their relationship is a very real female friendship relationship. And that is something that was sort of surprising to me, considering the script is written by two men. No offense to Cliff and Marty, but it is a shock as a woman to see that
Mhm.
in a film, and it's a pleasant shock.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really appreciate.
Well, I wonder if they had
A consultation.
a consultation, because there's all these fantastic women,
Yeah.
Um, well, so from an actor's perspective, right? As an actor, never be afraid to approach the director and say, hey, if you're in the shooting aspect of it, or even doing like script reviews, read throughs and stuff, I don't think she would say this. I don't think this character would talk like that. Or quite frankly, this isn't how women talk. Right? Don't be afraid, because your job as an actor is to take the written word and portray it as realistically as you can for that character.
Mhm.
Right? And if it doesn't hit, say something.
It's your job to say something.
Right? Now, in Hollywood, in A films, you hear about people losing their jobs and getting fired from productions because they're just like, if you're a tool,
Yeah.
you're going to get booted, right? But there are a lot of directors out there who just don't, they have such an ego, it can't take it. Can't take it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there are some very powerful longtime directors who fully understand
that filmmaking is a collaborative, creative process.
Yes. And if you have an actor who is entrenched in this part, they come to you and they say, this doesn't work. I don't see how this works. A good director would say, okay, how about we do it this way first? And then let's see what you've got. Let's do 2 takes.
Yeah.
Right? Because you never know. I mean, as an actor, you could be wrong, and there's nothing wrong with that. Collaboration is finding the right in all the little pieces and putting them together. So, these folks, they just nail it, And as far as actors, Bradford as Billy, he has always been magnificent with this character.
Yes.
It's, and it's almost like he just like puts Billy on like a suit, and there's just nothing left of Bradford in there. He just becomes Billy. And it's just wild. His expressions, his faces, his intonations, everything makes him, you just want to keep watching. And that's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. So the writing in this, like I said, it's not elevated to a point where they're going for gimmick.
Right.
It's straight on. It's constant all the way through. That's the thing. I just admire it. It is such a joy. And then the actors doing, and of course, then there's the directors.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well, let's not forget the directors.
Yeah. I mean, you got a bunch of guys in the orchestra pit. You need somebody to keep them in time and to keep it moving. Cliff and Marty have an excellent sense of timing and pace.
Yes.
You never get bored. And there's movies that I like a lot that have moments where I'm like, oh, we're to this part again. So even in the big movies, there's bad parts. We're not going to get into because that's what the show is about. We could have a 150 hour long constant episode on all the big movies that were shit or had bad parts or things wrong with it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this is awesome because we've got great directors, got great actors all around, and the writing is good. Now, let's talk about the shooting.
Yes.
Go for it.
So all these movies are very straightforwardly shot. Classic framing, it's there's not a lot of like huge rule breaking as far as the filmmaking goes. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. But they got permission to film at TusCon.
Yes.
And
so that is the real deal, people.
yes. And what was really fun about the way they shot at TusCon was it was like they let their hair down and they just got like, you can tell in the way that those shots are framed, the walkthrough shot, that they just had a lot of fun with it and that everyone there had a lot of fun with it. And I really enjoy that because it gives it such a warm, lovely feeling watching those scenes. And I think that's my advice is that like, have fun with it, you know, follow the rules and stuff. But when you have something like that, have fun with it because that's going to come through.
Well, and here's the thing. So I can think of quite a few movies that like had permission to shoot like at San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
Right. Or any of these other big things. And they'll set up shots to capture like, you know, the broad shots of everybody moving in the booths and the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when they cut to whatever the actors are doing, there's a palpable change in feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
Did you didn't put yours on Do Not Disturb?
I did not. My watch just told me to go to bed.
Naughty.
We have to come in here with like no devices. We won't get into it. There've been issues. So, but anyway, and that there is nothing worse than getting into a movie and then getting ripped out.
Oh, I know.
Of it because of bad edits, bad choices, right? They had fun with TusCon, but it fit perfectly.
Yes.
It's the tone. And I think it's because the way they write and the way this was shot and directed and everything is this is who they are, right? They met Jeff at TusCon.
Right. It's way Nerds by Nerds, not the podcast, but the genuine article.
Yeah. So it's easy to watch. It's engaging. It keeps you wanting to see what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking for anything except for Tanya in the periphery. You know,
keep an eye out for Tanya. She'll sneak up on you.
Yeah. It's just so well done. I don't know how to like nitpick it to talk about all the good things. It's just overall done. Watch this. And if you're going to be behind the camera, think about this, right? The biggest thing we've always talked about is write what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot what you know. Right? And we have watched a lot of like short films. We have watched a lot of indie and B movies where they try so hard to emulate and move beyond the tentpole film formula, right? And that's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing you can do. So we've talked about Netflix. Mm-hmm. Netflix has like a template. Everything on Netflix looks and feels and smells the same.
Yeah.
Right. Even like the Korean films that we have enjoyed, the series.
Right. They look and sound like every other Netflix production.
Yeah. And stop doing that. Be you. Just be you. Write your thing. Shoot your thing. Don't worry about, are you spot on the color correction?
Right.
You know what? You just do what you can. You do what you can. Mm-hmm. If you're just starting out, you'll get it. Right? Fifth film in, you'd be like, oh, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. And you'll look at your other films and be like, yeah, I can see now where I just missed the mark.
Yeah.
But that's a badge of honor. There's nothing wrong with getting better.
There's nothing wrong with
what
learning.
you do in life, right?
There's nothing wrong with learning from, things that you're doing. There's an adage that goes around that's the ceramics class teacher. I don't know if you remember it, where he like splits the class in two and says to one half of the class, you're going to be graded on how many pots you make over the course of the semester.
Mhm.
By like how many in weight you
Right.
make. You're going for quantity. And he tells the other half, you're going for quality, right? You can make one pot, but it needs to be a perfect pot. And at the end of the semester, right, the best pots in the class are the ones that have made quantity, right?
Yeah.
Because they've just been banging them out, getting better every time. Or that's the ones who focused on quality have not made anything, right?
Right.
They have not made a perfect pot because they've spent all semester trying to figure out what would be the perfect pot to make.
Yeah. What's that recipe?
Instead of just doing it.
The dynamics, the engineering behind it.
Right.
Yep. Well, and you can see that in like not just film, but you can see it in houses and just the world around us. It's become so, right? Because everyone's trying so hard to be the next whatever in
Right.
whatever it is they're doing, and they're just missing the boat. Meanwhile, the people who are getting noticed, the people who are having fun and becoming successful, or even not successful, because Lord knows, we've said this many times, if you're involved in any of this, you're mental.
Right.
There's something wrong with you mentally, because we as creatives can't function with a normal mind. It would kill us.
If you can be
Right?
happy doing anything else,
Yeah.
anything at all, do that thing.
Do that thing, because this is like just sorrow and rejection and disappointment and all kinds of stuff. I mean,
It's hard.
well, we tried to launch a campaign. Well, we did launch a campaign for a short film.
Yeah.
That we wanted to make. And it didn't go as we had hoped. So we had to pivot. We're still pivoting. There's a lot of pivots going on. But, its day will come.
It will.
Well, not for nothing. That script that we wanted to shoot.
I was wondering if you were going to mention
Hell
that.
yeah, I'm going to mention it. We worked too long and hard at this stuff to let shit like that blow by. Most of you B-siders, you know that we have had scripts go into contests, and we've done quarterfinalists, semifinalists. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. We've always been so close, but there can be only one.
Yes.
And we just hadn't been there. But we finally made it to the finalists.
Yes.
Out of like 1,300 total scripts.
There are 11 finalists?
There are 11 finalists.
That's crazy to me.
We made it. And we think it's a great little short, and we wrote it to be economical. And this is something what we're talking about. Write what you know, shoot what you know. Okay. So we don't know about 15 locations and getting equipment here and there. And if making this film, it would be just us.
Yeah.
We are the only two people, with possibly we had budgeted for a makeup person, right? And a costumer, because it's a period piece. But they're, temporary, right? And then the actors, budgeted for them to get paid appropriately. SAG wages, people, even though we're not involved in any of that, we're going to pay people. Let's try and pay them right.
Yeah.
But anyway, didn't work out. It just didn't work out. But we're still going to keep pushing it like this. And the grand prize is it gets made.
Which would be amazing.
Yeah. And that's a little FYI, folks. If you do enter your scripts into a contest, make sure it's a contest that has something to do with you getting a meeting with somebody or getting it made, or at least a grant or something towards it. If you're in contests just to win money, like $5,000 for first prize, it's not going to help you at all. It might help pay the bills, right? For a short period. But
go for progress. Move forward.
Yeah, you want something to actually happen. And if it's not going to get made, you want to sit down with somebody who makes movies.
Yeah.
Right? That's the grand prize. That's what you want.
That's kind of part of why we started, that we were anxious to bring this podcast back, is because what we gained from doing this podcast was not money.
Clearly.
And that wasn't what it was for. I mean, obviously we want to not go broke trying to keep this podcast on the air. But we're not in it to, become famous podcasters or make a ton of money from it. That's not what it's for. What we gained from doing this podcast before we took our break was we made so many friends and connections
Mhm.
and just meaningful interactions with people in our tribe who are interested in doing what we're interested in doing.
Yeah.
And that was the value that this has to us.
Yes. On that note, so yeah, they're not just friends, they're connections to a world we love living in.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just that, hey, I know this guy here. It's like, I know this guy who does, all this stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And we get exposed to it. I mean, we never imagined it. I think we mentioned this in an episode or two way back. We just never imagined we would meet so many fantastic people. And I'm going to go all the way back to our first episode.
Yeah.
No.
Space Trucker Bruce.
No.
Yeah, Space Trucker
No,
Bruce.
I thought Bad Taste was our first. Space Trucker was our second.
Space Trucker Bruce was our first episode.
Was that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have to look now.
It was.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you. Anyway, Anton Doiron. I you know what? I will never say his name. Anton, I am so sorry, man. I just, you know what? Lay the hate.
Yes,
I deserve
Anton.
it.
I want to watch Girl Yeti in a spaceship so bad.
Anton, so we did Space Trucker Bruce,
mm-hmm.
and we covered that whole thing, and we had an interview with him and Carl,
mm-hmm.
and played Space Trucker Bruce, Carl Sears, and they told us about him building a set he did all this by himself. He built sets in his house, in his kid's room. It was just wild. But the one thing about it is that this movie, Love Song, Girl You Made Shaw, and Space Trucker Bruce are pure independent film. All the aggravation. It took forever for Anton to get that made. And Girl Yeti in a Spaceship,
he's doing it all on his own, and it's taken an age.
He's been rocking that since we started this.
But he's doing it.
Right? 2019 is when we first started.
Yeah.
It's 2024. And he's still putting up dates on because he does all of his modeling in Blender. He does all the renderings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time. If you want to make a movie in 90 days and then have it like ready to rock, you're in the wrong business.
Well, yeah, if you're trying to do it on your own,
yeah,
you got big money behind you. You can hire people to do all the stuff. But
if you had big money behind you, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast about B movies and independent films. You'd be listening to somebody talking about the blockbusters and the $150 to $500 million budgets for, Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be getting like an insane amount for playing Dr. Doom. That's a world that we don't understand. And, but anyway, you have to love this, and it's a slow process. And like I said, it's painful. It's, Kyle Hester is still trying to get Preacher 6 going. And we will be talking to him at some point too, get him on and just talk about what it's like.
I can't wait to talk to Kyle again.
I know he's awesome. I watch his videos all the time because, it helps.
Yeah.
Make sure I click the like button and,
and Lowell Dean's got a new movie coming out too.
Lowell Dean's got a new one coming out. Silas has been working on a series.
Yes.
Silas Dahl. I mean, there's all these people that we've met and we get to keep track of and share in their successes. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
Deciders that we want to impart upon you. Yes, you want to be successful. Yes, you want to get your stuff done. But you know what? Make those connections. Help people as you can. But more importantly, revel in their success. Celebrate it.
100%.
Because we were all a single tribe. If all the hunters go out and only 2 come back with food, don't get pissy. Revel in their success.
Yeah.
Because as they succeed, I know it's sometimes hard to clock this, but that successful hunter feeds us all.
Yeah.
Right? We all benefit from the success. Because every independent filmmaker or B movie that just like breaks out of the pen and goes wild, right, is a clear signal these things work. The audience loves this kind of stuff. And yeah, this is where money could go and should go.
Right.
Right. One day it'd be awesome if,
if the big studios became obsolete because,
or just switch their shit around and be like, you know what? We could make 50 movies for every fucking Marvel film that,
the money they put into those movies, if they split that up, to 300, 500 different independent films.
Well, let's look at this. Because
imagine the content they could get.
Do you remember when we were talking to Cliff and the guys, right, in the interview? And Cliff commented, well, I wouldn't know what to do with $50,000 if you,
right?
That's the kind of thing. So this was roughly 30,000. So let's take 30,000 for this wonderful movie. What would you do with 300 million? How many of these movies can you make? It's real simple. Just, do the math. It's tens. And we will always maintain these movies have more heart, more, and not just like in a romantic, I don't know what I'm looking for. It's just the romanticism of movie making.
La vie bohème.
Yeah. It's the heart of cinema. This is why movies were made,
It is an art.
Yeah.
And as humans, we need art.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do. And
art helps us to contextualize our lives and give them meaning.
Yes. Well, and art helps us interpret the things around us in either a different way or a more appreciative way, or makes us more insightful, right? When you can see something just a little bit different, your world can change. Your whole path can go, one direction you never thought. We have 3 indoor cats and like 7 outdoor cats out here in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm allergic to cats.
And no mice.
But we have no mice.
Right?
It's amazing. But oh my God. Not anything I would have ever thought would happen. If you'd have told me, 5 years ago or further back, this is where you're going to be, we're like, you need to lay off the crack.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But here we are, because we had those moments that rather than look at from like a utilitarian approach, which is kind of how I approach life.
It is how you approach life.
I'm very utility oriented. But I think that's tempered with looking beyond the pale, right?
Yeah.
It's, well, hold on. And we had a discussion and, I looked at it a different way and I was on board.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this. Like, you know what? I'm there.
Yeah. I'm a much more leaf in the wind kind of person.
Yeah. But because I can do that, yeah, it makes it easy to make these kinds of decisions. Mm-hmm. And it's been rough because,
it's been a lot harder than I thought it would be. And there have been a lot of twists and turns and surprises.
But here we are.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Here we are. And we're back into pushing to do our thing. Because not only are we doing the podcast again, BF McGillicuddy's going to fire up again. Mm-hmm. Going to get some more of those episodes out because I love doing them. Because if there's anything I love to do is rant. And what's better than an alien ranting about the stupid shit that goes on this planet? But we're also going to be moving into the filmmaking. And we're going to just do what we can.
Yeah.
Do what we can. We got some ideas. We just spend a few $100 to get some mechanical things to make this, work. And we'll just use what we've got and we'll just go with that. And that's kind of like our biggest thing, right? Use what you've got. Got an iPhone? Use it. Yeah, we got old cameras in there. Got that old little Panasonic handheld camcorder with shit sound and no jacks to plug anything into it from what, 10, 11 years ago? You know?
Well, we have
But it
better
has a
stuff than
purpose.
that. But yes, it does.
But if that's what we had, that's
Yeah.
what we would have if that's all that there was. So, do the stuff, because songs, I just looked at it. Love Song of William H. Shaw, movies like this are a testament to it can be done. And it can be done good and done well. Good.
It can.
Isn't that awesome grammar?
It can be done good.
Done good.
But it's right there in the title, the love song. This movie is a love song to film.
Yes.
And to, geekdom and kind of all the things that go with it. And it shows.
Well, and I think most important, none of these movies have been written to, I don't know, what's the word? Comicize the characters.
Right.
Right? This isn't a spoof. This isn't a parody on people. There are people who love comic books. They're lawyers, they're doctors, they're janitors, they're all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Right? They have taken this and just straightforward. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nerds and geeks were a little weird, to the normals, but we get it. They don't need to. So with the shooting, let's talk budget.
Okay.
So $30,000. We got to pay people. We want to pay people for their time. Got to have the equipment.
And Eric is very, very, Eric Schumacher, who plays John, he's very, very up about paying people for their time. That matters a lot to him. And it matters a lot to everyone on this production.
Yes.
But I know in particular to Eric, that is like a sticking point, which is incredible.
Yes.
Because that doesn't always happen in indie film. A lot of times you're acting for a pizza,
Yeah. Well, newcomers, you've never heard this before. B-siders, you might remember we've talked about Alice Has It Under Control, short film that we did back in 2014. A lot of mistakes were made, and that film will never be released. We're not going to get into that. But that was the same thing. We had people do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
We bought them food, and that was it, basically.
Because we didn't have a budget.
We didn't. Well, we had to raise money I don't want to get into it. It's a sour thing. Anyway, shit happens. Roll with it. Accept it. An indie film, you sometimes have to be faced with that. You can't get the money to pay people. Well, then you know what? If you're serious about this, you're going to get some sort of distribution. You're going to go to festivals and stuff. So you give people back end.
Yeah.
Right? Say, okay, I need you to do this because I have jack shit for money right now. But you're going to hit this to festivals and stuff. And whether it's good or not, this is the reality. Every festival it goes to, somebody's going to pay to see it. And you're going to get some of that. Right? That's how you make money on the festival circuit. For those that do, we won't get into it. But anyway, do it. Get them to, do the thing, but be very upfront about it and be serious about making sure they get back end money.
Right.
Because, any other way is just not cool.
Be fair and do not take advantage of people.
Yeah. I don't know. Have we talked enough about this? Because I feel like there's so much to talk about, but it's like minutia.
And, it's a lot of minutia. I think we've covered all the big stuff. I think we're just excited to be back. And so we just want to keep talking and talking and talking. But
yeah. Well, anyway, it's a wonderful movie. And, $30,000 is not anything in terms of movie budgets. It's actually pretty big in indie film. That's a, chunk of change. Right. Yeah. But do what you can.
Mhm.
Do what you can. Work with what you've got. Use this as an example. No wild filters, no crazy coloring, no moods. And their sets weren't set up with, super technical lighting because the story didn't call for it. Anything they would have spent in terms of money, time, and effort on those things for this movie would have made it less than.
Right.
Because it doesn't fit. Don't do it just to do it. Do what it is. If it's a driving film, get a car, get a steady, get a gimbal and, for a steady cam, drive and shoot the movie. Shoot one guy over here, get in the back seat, switch over, shoot this guy over here, get camera in the front, whatever you got to do, shoot it in a fucking car. Doesn't have to be pulled on a trailer. Doesn't need to be green screen surrounded with, motion playing. Do what you can because that's the story.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do the best you can with what you have. Make a lot of pots. Don't try to make one perfect pot. Make as many as you can.
And love every minute of it because when you do that, you get every time I glance over, I keep wanting to say it, but you get a movie like Love Song of William H. Shaw.
That's right.
That's going to be the end result. Love the movie no matter what while you're making it.
Wow.
So that brings our first episode in way too long to a close. I'm going to say again, hit the Patreon. Patreon.com. Bravo for the B-side. If you want to pop on the podcast, all of the episodes. So as we're recording this, we still don't actually have the hosting set up. I'm working on that, and I got to get all the 137 episodes back on track. So by the time you hear this, it'll be irrelevant. But if anything ever happens where there's a delay or your like with your dad, the podcast apps stopped working on his phone and couldn't get to it, go to Patreon. You just need to sign up with Patreon. You don't have to pay. But if you have a login to Patreon, you can access every single one of our episodes. That is like a fail-safe.
Right.
That will always be there for everybody and anybody. We'd appreciate it though if you'd sign up and throw us $5 a month. That would be awesome. Share it. We also have a Patreon for the production company, Lords of Misrule Productions. It's a lot more to type.
It is a lot. We picked a very long name, but I like it. So,
the website has links, lordsofmisruleproductions.com. God, it's been a long time since I've said that.
Or you can see stuff that we're working on and,
Yeah. They have links to our YouTube channels because we will be converting these to audio to video because people still like watching them on YouTube. So we'll still be putting those up.
Sure.
And as always, emails are on the website. Reach out to us.
Yes, we are very easy to reach out to. So if you are a filmmaker, an actor, whatever, anything you do in indie film or B movies, and you want us to see something that you have done, you want us to, cover a movie, reach out to us, talk to us. If you want to, come on and interview with us.
Or even if you're just a listener.
Yeah, or even if you just want to.
You're like, there's this movie I saw and it was awesome. I think you guys would like it. Or I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I would love recommendations.
We've gotten a few of those.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, we're not like, a Hollywood Reporter. We don't have a massive reach. But B-siders, you can help with that.
That's right.
We can grow this bad boy. But we had a far enough reach where, people reached out to us to do their movies.
Yeah.
Because you guys would go watch them. And there was enough of you to make a little bit of a, difference.
Yeah.
And get the buzz around. So, reach out to us, whoever you are.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yep, absolutely. So,
with that,
I think we'll bring this to a close. Keep writing, keep filming, keep dreaming, keep being creative.
And keep watching movies.
Absolutely. And we'll see you
in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Next episode.
See you next time.
Bye, B-siders. Wow. Jesus Christ.
Bye, B-siders.
Thank you. We're out.